Right. We went to a vegan picnic last week.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, with they're basically the vegans that are around sort of Newbury and West Berkshire, didn't we?
Yeah, Newbury and surrounding areas.
Yeah, it was quite a lot of the Viva lot there.
Yeah,
the
which
Viva
is
outreach.
lovely. And they've done it so because normally when we do Viva, we don't tend to bring children, do we? So they've done it so it was a nice family occasion, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so bring all the children.
That's right. So Bridie could be there with Sam and the kids.
Yeah,
the grandkids.
And I've brought my little man.
And your little man, of course. Yeah, wouldn't forget him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, really family friendly and some really great food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel made a dal,
didn't he? Yeah, really nice dal.
Got the recipe for that. If anybody wants the recipe, it's I can assure you it's really tasty. Also Steph, she made these what did you call them?
Cheddar twists, weren't they? Was it?
Yeah, they were like a cheddar and bacon, Cheddarton.
Yeah, that's it.
BioLife Cheddarton. I'd not heard of BioLife Cheddarton before.
No, I hadn't either, but
it's new, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. On that note, we've got an announcement to make, haven't we?
We do.
Jason, my husband, he actually has tried some vegan cheese and he likes it. So, yay!
That's the cameraman.
Yeah. The cameraman and my husband. He left off normal cheese, as in dairy cheese, for about 3 weeks. And I had for about 4 weeks in the fridge some applewood smoked cheese. And he tried it. He didn't say anything. He kept quiet. He tried it and he absolutely loved it. Well, he didn't absolutely love it, but he enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah.
A cheese and pickle sandwich. So it just shows. I think it was Jo who we're gonna see the interview in a minute. She said to me, I always was told if you stay off it for 2 weeks that you lose the taste
of dairy
cheese and then try vegan cheese, and it tastes all right. Well, he done it for 3, but she said 6. So
well, and we will also mention that he really likes the taste of the M&S coleslaw, the Plant Kitchen one, doesn't he?
yes, and that is quite nice actually. It's creamy, isn't it?
Yeah, because he's tried the Co-op one, and he's tried the Sainsbury's one.
Yeah.
But out of all of them, he prefers the M&S one, doesn't he?
I can't deny it. I agree with him.
Because we tried it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Really
What is it? What one is the Sainsbury's? Plant? Is it Plant Kitchen? No, Plant Kitchen. Is that M&S?
Yeah, and then Plant Chef, that's Tesco's, I think.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember.
Plant Pioneers?
Plant Pioneers. Yes, that's it. I find that very vinegary, but then I find their mayonnaise very vinegary too. So you might disagree. You might enjoy it. You might prefer vinegary mayonnaise and coleslaw, but I prefer mine a bit creamy. That's why I like Hellmann's mayonnaise.
But definitely the M&S one is definitely a really nice one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So he actually liked some vegan cheese.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really good. So before we move on to the interview with Jo, we met a couple of new people, didn't we, at this picnic?
Some lovely people.
Yeah. But 2 of them, they were Barack and his partner, Toprak. I hope I'm saying this right, Toprak. And very, very lovely people, very accommodating, because I think she works for the local theatre, doesn't she? The Corn Exchange.
Yeah.
Corn Exchange. And she managed to bring along some vegan sandwiches for everybody, which I thought was really kind.
Lovely.
Yeah. But anyway, Barack, he was telling me that they're from Turkey, and he was telling me about a program, an organisation in Turkey called BUPAWS. I think I'm saying that right. Which is a dog sanctuary in Istanbul. And basically in Turkey, they have a real problem with stray dogs because of uncontrolled breeding, dogs being abandoned, and lack of sterilisation. And obviously they're overpopulated with dogs.
And I was going to say, they're just going to carry on breeding, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and then you get the spread of disease and what have you. So they did bring in a law last year, and it's called I think it's called the massacre law. And basically, the law is to get the dogs in shelters and adopted. But some regions in Turkey, they actually do mass killings of dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, instead of saving them. So
is that their way of keeping numbers down?
I think so. But BUPAWS, the dog sanctuary, they work on trying to take the dogs in and rehome them. Now, obviously, they need money to do this, so they're fundraising, and I think you can volunteer to go there and help and what have you. There's a lovely video he sent me, which I'll put the link in the description, about this sanctuary. It's a guy who went and volunteered there. It's a really good video to watch, actually, especially if you love dogs, which we do.
Yeah.
They have a website, they have Instagram, they have email, and they have Linktree. Now, he did warn me that the Instagram is all in Turkish, but the rest is part Turkish, I think, and part English. If you ever get in touch with them, they have got English-speaking volunteers. So, like I say, they're fundraising for medical treatment, and they're desperate to save any dogs that are on the Turkish streets. So, if you're interested in that, check out the links in the description.
Yeah.
So, right. Next, we interviewed Jo.
We did, yeah. Lovely Jo from the Outreach.
Yeah. Jo is a volunteer from Viva and We the Free, and she organises the monthly vegan outreach as a volunteer. she had an awful lot to say, and this lady is really, really busy. So it's a really interesting interview.
Yeah, it was. Even when camera stopped, we were still asking questions.
That's right.
So...
Yeah. We could have talked all afternoon. So, yeah, here we go. Here's Jo. Right, so we're here with Jo from Viva. How long have you been vegan?
So I've been vegan for probably coming up to 2 years, I think. Yeah. So I kind of went vegan. I'd been vegetarian for quite a long time, a number of years actually before that, and then I had looked into sorry, I've gone into my vegan story and you haven't even asked me.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, good.
The question we were going to ask.
Oh,
next,
well, there we
so,
go. I anticipated it. I was vegetarian for a long time, and then I started looking into kind of actually from the health perspective. So I was vegetarian for the animals, but I'd looked into kind of dairy products, and I'd read something horrible about the amount of pus that's in dairy milk, and so I thought, oh, maybe I should look into going vegan. Not really thinking about it too much, to be honest. And then I read this book by Veganuary called How to Go Vegan, and in there they had a chapter in the book that really set out, what happens to the animals in animal agriculture, pretty, openly and honestly about what happens. And as soon as I read that, I was kind of vegan overnight after that. So yeah, that was about coming up to 2 years ago.
2 years. So what made you go into your activism work? How did you get into that?
Yeah, so I think when I first went vegan and I found out what happened, it really did. It was quite a shock, I guess I would say, to me. I had no idea how bad it was in animal agriculture, and reading what happened really affected me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of reached out to, the local kind of vegan community and sort of, express how I was feeling about things. And, one of the things that came back was very much, getting involved in activism is a really great way to, actually feel like you're putting your kind of emotions around this into something really hopefully productive and sort of meaningful. So I kind of knew that I wanted to get involved in that straight away. And then I didn't kind of know exactly what to get involved with. So I'd kind of joined a local animal rights group in Oxford. Who I went to a few kind of events that they had in Oxford, and then I went to the Vegan and Animal Rights Conference in Manchester, which I think was the first one actually they've done in the UK.
Nice.
And I went there and I heard lots of different organisations talk about the kind of activism and stuff that they get involved in and that they run, and that's where I met somebody from Viva and somebody from We the Free, which is another organisation that I volunteer with, and got into it through them. So it was just a way for me to kind of try and do something about what I'd learnt about, I think.
Yeah.
Because does it take up quite a lot of your time? How do you find time to fit it all in?
Yeah, so I guess it does take up quite a lot of my spare time. Yeah, I would say I guess most weekends I kind of tend to be doing.
I was going to say, you seem to dedicate your life to it, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do spend quite a lot of time doing it. And, it's the kind of, I guess it's the thing that I put most of my energy into, which is, and what I would say is you maybe don't have to do it kind of as much as I've done it necessarily. You can get involved in it as much as you kind of have time for and have, capacity for. But for me, certainly it's sort of something that I really want to put a lot of time and energy into. So yeah, kind of most weekends and, fair number of evenings as well. So
yeah, it's your passion.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because you do we the I always say it's We the Three, but it's We the Free, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's slightly different to Viva, because you show the video, don't you? It's Dominion, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's so We the Free, basically the model is doing what's called a 3-minute movie challenge. So we invite members of the public over to look at the TV screens, and they watch 3 minutes of footage from Dominion, sort of edited down to kind of show the key areas of what happens to animals, and then after they've watched the 3-minute movie, they get a prize at the end, and then we have a conversation with them about veganism by an outreacher at the end.
Yeah.
Do you find one or the other is more effective, during the 3-minute movies, or do you find with the Viva, because with the Viva you let people sort of approach you, sort of thing?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I don't think I find one of them more effective necessarily. I guess they're just kind of two different approaches.
Yeah.
So with Viva, it's very much kind of information focused. As you know, we have loads
Yeah.
and loads and loads of leaflets about all the different kind of aspects of veganism. Obviously, a lot about the animals, but also about environment and health and things like that as well. Whereas We the Free is, you know, very much kind of centered around the footage and kind of showing people for them, you know, for themselves through seeing the footage what happens. So yeah, different types of conversations. With Viva, it's very much, you know, kind of meeting people where they're at and talking about the aspects of veganism that they kind of I guess, you know, relate to them and they kind of feel more that they can relate to, I suppose. Whereas We the Free is very much focused on, you know, the footage and what happens. So yeah, just two different types of approaches, I think.
Sorry, carry on. No, you carry on.
What sort of response would you say you get the most from the We the Free sort of movie chat? Do you find people get sort of emotional?
That's what I was going to ask,
Oh,
actually.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it depends. It definitely depends. I think with the We the Free model, they kind of put a headset on, you know, they immerse themselves in what's happening to the animals. So it's a very sort of like intense experience, I think, for some people when they've sat
Yeah,
down and watched
yeah.
it.
Do you warn people what they're going to see?
Yeah, so we have sort of something on the table saying, you know, you're about to see something graphic is essentially what it says, and then there's a content warning at the beginning. So people are free to obviously take off the headset and stop watching as soon as they want to. We do have a children's version of the video as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What do you show with the children's version?
Yeah, so it's a really good, actually. It's a shorter clip of something that's on YouTube that anybody can see. I can send the link for your listeners if you want.
could.
Yeah. I think from memory it's called The Secret Reason We Meet or something like that. I've probably got that
That's
wrong.
interesting.
Is it cartoon?
Cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's by Melanie Joy. Maybe
I
heard of-
know Melanie
Yes,
Joy,
she's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And it's basically just kind of introducing, I guess, the concept of speciesism and why we eat some animals and not eat others. And yeah, it's very, obviously there's nothing graphic in there. It's suitable for children. So it just kind of explains the whole, like why this happens and kind of leads children to kind of maybe have a think about that and to question why we do, you know, eat some animals and not others. So it's quite effective as well. And actually we can show that video to, you know, even adults who are a bit nervous about watching graphic content
Sure.
and thing. It works
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say to somebody who's a bit nervous about doing it? About as in the activism, joining in doing the activism. I mean, when they do say if we wanted to join in doing We the Free, have we got to watch the footage first? Do we have to know what we're looking at? We do.
No, sorry, I was nodding.
No,
I was
you don't.
nodding. I was
Oh,
nodding
right.
at the question, not for the answer, which is confusing, isn't it? Sorry. So no, you don't have to watch it. If I'm completely honest, I haven't watched the full 3 minutes.
Have you not?
I find it quite difficult to watch this kind of footage. I mean, I know what's in there.
I was going to say, have you watched any of the films?
Which films? Sorry.
Like any of the
Dominion or Pignorant?
I want to call them Disney nasties.
Disney. That's a very good term for it.
Or Earthlings. even.
Earthlings.
Yeah,
or...
Earthlings, Dominion, Cowspiracy.
So I've seen the less graphic ones. So I've seen Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy. I've watched some of Dominion to kind of know a little bit more about what I'm talking about with people, but I haven't sat down and watched the full 3-minute movie or the full, you know, Dominion. I've kind of watched bits so that I feel that I know enough to talk about it.
And I suppose you know what goes on yourself, so you don't really need converting, as say, you know.
Yeah, and actually I think it's a really, really important point. Like, you know, once you've made the decision to go vegan, there's not that much value, I don't think, in kind of almost like re-traumatizing yourself by watching some of this footage. Like, I don't think once you know what's happened and you've got enough information for yourself to have a, you know, good enough conversation about it, then I think we should all protect our, you know, mental health in a way and like not expose ourselves to such graphic footage. So yeah. So if you wanted to become a volunteer, you wouldn't need to watch it. You know, we could have a chat about what's in the video if the person who wanted to join wanted to. But yeah, no requirement to watch it at all.
Right. What about going off topic a little bit? Not veganism, obviously, but like with when you went vegan, how did your friends and family view it? I know I just spoke to your husband, lovely husband, earlier, because he's been vegan. What, about year is it year and a half?
He was maybe a month or two behind me. Sorry, he was maybe a month or two behind me. So I think I'm probably I'll be coming up to 2 years. So I guess he's just over a year and a half.
Yeah. How do your friends and family view it? They're not vegan, I take it.
No, so my family aren't vegan. My sort of pre-vegan day friends who are still my friends, but none of
I was
those are
going to say,
vegan.
did you lose any friends? Because I know a few people, like especially on Facebook, you get people drop out. They don't look at your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you post on. I mean, I guess you post a lot about Viva and We the Three.
Yes.
But I mean, I know I post a lot of stuff that's maybe not graphic, because I don't like people see the graphic stuff. I don't think it does. I don't think it encourages people too much.
Because sometimes you can feel quite isolated from your friends because of it, because they don't share your same views.
Yeah.
So and it's, I think, probably certainly that I've found one of the things that vegans find most challenging, I think, is kind of managing those kind of daily interactions and stuff with non-vegan friends and family. For me, most of my friends aren't vegan. Obviously, I've got a lot of vegan friends now from joining the community.
You gain friends, don't you?
And
Absolutely.
it's like lovely, like days like this where we're in the park and we're doing a nice event with families and
Quite chilled.
And you meet like-minded people and you meet new friends that way, don't you? Really?
Absolutely, and what a lovely bunch of people we got with us today, which is just incredible. So absolutely gained lots of friends through that. I mean, I wouldn't say I've lost any friends. I would say that particularly with very close friends, we've had conversations about veganism, and generally they've been really supportive, and they'll kind of eat vegan around me out of trying to make sure that I'm comfortable and things like that.
Effort.
Absolutely, I'm very lucky actually with my friends and family. They're really, really good with that. So it's a challenge, and kind of, to be honest, finding the language to talk about it with friends and family, I think, is kind of the key, isn't it? And learning how to kind of manage those interactions and ask for what you need, I think, is what I've really learned.
Because sometimes it can feel like the elephant in the room, can't it? And you don't want to pressure people or preach too much to people. You want people to maybe come to you for advice, maybe. And
Definitely.
Have you ever had anybody come to either We the Free or Viva or in everyday life and being absolutely like, no, I really don't care. You can show me any footage you like. I really don't care. Because I know I've had the trolls online and they'd say that, no, I don't care. They're animals. I don't care. They're less than us. I can see that. I'll do it myself. I'll cut their throats. Awful. What would you say to somebody like that?
I haven't really had that in my personal life, thankfully. But obviously, you do speak to a few people like that when you're talking to members of the public. I guess I would say that I think that's often not true if they're really presenting themselves as not caring about animals.
No.
And actually, I think that's probably one of the most promising signs for our movement, is that actually, most people do care about animals, and they don't want to see them suffer. So, we're sort of, we've got that, on our side in terms of the perception of the movement and what we're aiming for. So I guess in that situation, I would probably, I try to lead with curiosity in those situations. And trying to understand their perspective, and, asking them questions about sort of, why they feel like that, or what they think that means. And often when you really talk to people, there is an underlying care for animals and they don't want to see them hurt. So it's kind of helpful to try and uncover that. And I guess I try to also always, in those situations, understand what they already know about animal agriculture and what happens, because I think a lot of people don't really know how bad it is. So I try to get their permission to kind of share some of the information with them, because then I find that they were more open to it if they've given permission. So I guess it's really just trying to understand what their viewpoint actually is, And there are a few people, who genuinely don't care about animals. And, obviously you can use other arguments in that situation about environment or health, lots of reasons that are for veganism. But, the animals is where my heart is. So
I was going to say, is that why you
Yeah.
really went vegan?
absolutely, yeah, 100%. It's all about the animals for me. And I think with people who, the very few people who genuinely don't care, to be honest, I probably don't spend that much more time talking to them, because if they really genuinely don't care, then there's
a
not an
waste of
awful
time.
They're
lot.
not
Yeah.
worth your
Yeah.
time.
And I'd rather go and talk to somebody who I know is probably going to be reachable. So
Because
yeah.
it's a bit like that argument that, do you think you can still be a good person and eat meat? Like, yeah.
Do you think you can?
Absolutely, yeah. I think good people can do things that are not good, like things that are bad. But yeah, absolutely. And we have to remember that, in today's society, eating animal products is considered normal. That's it's completely accepted, really, isn't it, across our society? So, not everybody who eats meat is a bad person. They just maybe haven't thought about it, or maybe haven't really understood what happens or anything like that. So yeah, they just need to have their kind of hearts and minds open to it, I guess.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest somebody does then that thinks, I wouldn't mind trying a bit of activism work, like We the Free or Viva? How would they go about it?
Yeah, thank you. Good question. So yeah, there's Viva and We the Free are two examples of incredible organisations doing incredible vegan outreach work. They've got chapters all over, this country, and Viva I think is just the UK, but We the Free is certainly international. So there'll be chapters everywhere, so they can join their local one. I would say that you asked a little bit earlier about if people are nervous about it. We the Free is both We the Free and Viva. There's roles that you can take in both of those that don't involve talking to members of the public, if that's the thing that people are nervous about. There's particularly in We the Free, there's kind of like usher roles where you can kind of be encouraging members of the public over.
Sure.
There's TV operator roles. There's lots of other things that make a successful event that aren't talking to the public, if that's the thing that people are nervous about. But yeah, in terms of getting involved, reach out to the central We the Free or Viva team, and they'll kind of direct you to your local one.
Yeah.
But there's loads of other types of activism as well. I wouldn't want people to think that public outreach, which is what I do the most of, is, the only thing. There's absolutely loads of other types of activism available that might be more comfortable for somebody. And I'm happy to talk about some of those if you're interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots available.
Yeah.
I got.
I was going to say,
like,
you've got a question.
Yeah, golden question.
Oh.
What would you say to non-vegan? So how would you plant a seed to a non-vegan?
That is a golden question. So yeah, I guess, for me, activism, is the most direct way of doing it. Talking to obviously members of the public directly about the topic. But there's other ways, kind of in my personal life. Like I personally wear like kind of vegan related clothing quite a lot in order to kind of plant that seed in people's minds as I'm walking around.
People thinking.
I think so, yeah. And I also think it helps to like normalize it, like hopefully I look fairly normal, so kind of seeing it kind of around and about is
you don't have to be like an extremist to be vegan.
No,
exactly,
that's the thing. I think that's what a lot of people think, don't they?
I think so, yeah. And I was actually, when I first sort of started to wear vegan clothing, I was thinking, oh gosh, am I going to get like hate? Are people going to like shout at me in the street or anything like that? But I haven't had anything like at all,
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. If anything, it kind of strikes up a conversation every now and again, which is kind of the point. So yeah, little things like that. And I think for me also, I try to not shy away. There's probably a better way of saying that, but not shy away from using language that I try to use language that doesn't shy away from the reality of what happens.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I will, when people ask me about my activism, I'll say that, the point of it is to raise awareness about violence against animals, because that is what it is. It's violence against, animals. Or, I'll talk about animals who are used for food. I'll just try to use language that sort of, I heard Claire Mann, who I don't know if you know Claire Mann, but she's a psychologist who coined the term dystopia. And she talks about like trance breaking. So trying to kind of like just say something or use a phrase or ask a question that sort of breaks that trance for people that they're in with this kind of believing that this is normal, natural and necessary. So yeah, things like that in my day-to-day life, I think.
Yeah, because you believe that people are just conditioned, this is just the norm, that people eat meat and have dairy.
Absolutely. I mean, I did for the first 20 or so years of my life. I didn't think anything of it. And yeah, absolutely. It's what we're all told. The marketing is so clever that it, hides it from all of us. So, that's just what happens, isn't it?
Do you think that we'll ever have a society where we're just pretty much the majority will be vegan? Do you think?
100%.
You
Yeah,
do?
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, one, because the planet can't really, at some point from a planetary perspective, we're going to have to change. But also, I don't think there's any evil that can last forever, and this is, one of the biggest moral injustices, of our time, and that's still going on every day. And I just don't think, particularly now, in the last however many years since we've had much wider availability of information through the internet and social media and things like that, these industries are being exposed every day, every week, every month. This kind of thing can't last forever. And as I said earlier, people care about animals. So there's only so long that these industries that exploit animals can go on. So I 100% believe. What about, if you don't mind me asking, what about you two? Do you think there'll be a vegan world?
Yeah, because I think there's, like you say, it's just a lot of people, I think, is that barrier, because there's a lot of people that say that they're animal lovers, and then they would meet cows on a farm, get to know them, but they wouldn't personally kill them themselves. And it's that barrier, isn't it, that people just need to get over, that barrier of, I don't need this meat in my life. I don't need this dairy.
I think there's a few things that stop people. I think that firstly, people think that being vegan is difficult.
Yes. Yeah.
It probably was years ago, but it's got easier, I think. There's a lot more vegan things, because it's not just about what you eat, is it?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's about the products you use, what you wear. But also as well, I just think it's about education, really.
Yeah, because I think from speaking to a lot of the public, a lot of the people like easy fast foods, don't they? There's not actually many people that actually tend to actually cook in their kitchens. Really, it's just quite sad, because the amount of people that we know get takeaways, a couple of times a week, or they'll have shove in the oven stuff, So it's I think it's a lot of people. So like you say, education on cooking, what foods you can eat, and there's so much out there, really, isn't there? Really?
Yeah, and what actually goes on.
Because most of the time we all eat vegan food, we all eat vegetables, we all eat, so a lot of the time people eat vegan food, they just eat meat on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What about, do you think that it would be a good idea for videos, maybe not Dominion, but some maybe even like the cartoon you said that they show for children on We the Free, be shown in schools?
Gosh, yeah, I think that would be a great idea. And actually, there is some really good work going on. I haven't been involved, but Animal Aid, you've probably heard of Animal Aid. Yeah, they have a school program where they get school speakers to go in and talk to the children about it. So yeah, absolutely, education is the key. And that's one of the reasons I think why We the Free has, and certainly why I make sure that we use the children's version in our We the Free events, because at the end of the day, these kids are going to be the ones who are making the decisions that will get us to a vegan world eventually.
Yeah,
so
they'll be the next generation,
and they're raising the kids for the next, for the generation after that. So yeah, I think it would be great. Absolutely. Yeah. I think if I'm right, they have kind of things like the National Farmers Union and things go into schools. So, why wouldn't we present the other, or not even the other side? This is just a different type of farmer that would be represented in that. So yeah, I think there's definitely value in that for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so other types of activism.
Yeah, so there's loads is what I would say. Like, obviously, as I say, I do the kind of public outreach stuff a little bit more, but there's loads of different types that people can get involved with depending on what they want to do. So for example, just to give a few examples, but there is loads. There's like, you may have heard of speciesism.wtf.
Yeah.
So they do kind of, gosh, I'm probably not going to characterize this right, but they kind of do like human art installations, basically, where they
Okay.
kind of have events where, you know, they'll put together an art installation, for example, showing something that portrays through art the dairy industry, for example, or other industries as well. So that's a really great way to get involved. I've done a few events of those and they're fantastic. For people who maybe don't want to get out on the streets, you know, there's lots of digital activism people can do. I'm involved with a campaign at the moment called Scrap Factory Farming, and they link with a campaign called the Coalition Against Factory Farming, and they're doing amazing work at the moment objecting to factory farming planning applications, which is something anybody in the country can do, and they're having really good success with that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's all online, you know, people can do that. It doesn't take very long, but it's very, very impactful, so that's a really good one. There's kind of more corporate type campaigns. So at the moment I'm involved with a campaign called 100 Cafes, which involves going to speak to cafes or restaurants to kind of encourage them to increase their plant-based options from an environmental perspective. Yeah, it's a really, really good campaign. And then there's the kind of more institutional type ones, so plant-based councils you may have heard of, who do amazing work trying to encourage councils to either have plant-based catering or do lots of different types of things to encourage plant-based eating in their areas. And Plant-Based Treaty, which is encouraging councils and institutions to kind of endorse the plant-based treaty. So, you know, although, as I say, I do the kind of more public outreach, there's lots of different types available. And there's actually it's a really kind of exciting, I guess, time for our movement at the moment, because there's a real groundswell of grassroots movements going on at the moment. And I can send you the link, but there's a group who's recently formed called the Animal Freedom Network, and they're encouraging local areas to kind of have their community-based grassroots stuff become kind of local movements. So they've got a website, you can go on, you can find your local kind of coalition of this. We've got one in Oxfordshire, and that's a great way to kind of get in and understand the different types of activism that are available for people. So yeah, plenty of options. Yeah.
And even if you don't have the time in particular, even just having like the confidence, like you say, to wear your t-shirts out and about, you know, something
Something
small
towards it.
like that. You
Absolutely.
know, like you say, can just plant seeds for people.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And the more we have people wearing this kind of thing, the more we have people just kind of having these conversations, you know, the more it becomes part of our public discourse, and that's what we need. And that's why you guys, you know, doing a podcast like this, it's just incredible. Like, it's just getting it more and more out there, and yeah it's brilliant.
But don't you find as well that once people, like, they go vegan, they might be quite shrinking violets, but they get a bit more braver as they go on, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you've got kind of passion and conviction about something, you've got that kind of fire in you, absolutely, and you can find your voice, I guess, a little bit. So yeah, it's brilliant to see.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you find the time, to be quite honest. So it sounds like you do an awful lot.
Yeah, I mean, it takes up, it's the thing I want to spend my spare time doing. You know, as I say, you don't have to do it, you know, like you can fit it in to your life as much as you kind of have capacity for, you know. So yeah, I mean, I spend quite a lot of time doing it because it's what I.
And you do this on top of a full-time job
I
as
was
well.
going to say, we're going to be really nosy and ask you if you do like a full-time job.
You
Yeah,
do. I know
course.
you do, because Sam already asked you.
Oh yeah.
Because he couldn't believe it. When we did Viva in Reading with you, we were walking back to the car and he said, "Can you believe it? She does a full-time job as well. It's not her job."
Oh.
You know, it's a full-time job. So the rest you do is completely voluntary.
Yeah. So I've got a full-time job. Obviously that's just during like the week, so I have my weekends free for this kind of stuff. But yeah, I kind of make time for it, I guess, because I think it's really important for me to do that and to put my efforts into that. So yeah.
And your husband's really good because he supports you all the way, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He comes to all the events and he's you know, carries stuff when I need help carrying things and stuff like that. So yeah, he's really supportive, and I'm very lucky to have that. You know, he does more than his fair share of like home related, dog related things to make sure that I've got the time that I need. So I'm lucky.
I was asking him who does because he was saying about the because we're at the vegan picnic obviously today, and he was commenting on all the lovely food, and I said, well, now you're vegan, who does the cooking in your house? Let's see who you say. Who does the majority?
He does the majority.
Yeah,
Is that what he said?
That's
Yeah.
what he said. Yeah.
Oh, he does. And actually he's really taken to it as well. Like since because he was a meat eater up until being vegan.
Yeah.
Obviously he ate predominantly vegetarian with me before, but yeah, he's really taken to it and all the amazing things that he tries to do. He's recently tried I don't know if you've ever had this, but like fish and chips, but with made with like banana blossom.
He was telling me all about it and how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the thing,
good.
when he can like go and do things like this, I'm like, well, why would I do the cooking when you cook? This is the kind of thing we can have, so
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
So
wow.
just trying to save this little bug on the floor that was crawling on me.
Oh, right.
There he is.
Always the vegan.
Yeah, I thought it'd be good for the camera.
Yeah. I know we'll go away from here and we'll think of a million questions, won't we? We were trying to think of them last night.
Yeah, but you're doing so well to, answer them, and you answer them so naturally. So.
Yeah, you do. You're a real good ambassador. That's for sure.
I really appreciate
Yeah, you're in the right work. I think you should do it anyway. I think full time.
Oh, I mean, I would love to do it full time if I could. Yeah, I'd love to. That'll be the aim one day.
That would be. I think if you ask many vegans what they really want to do is either A, get into some sort of work, or like myself, I'd love to run an animal sanctuary. Would you?
I mean, I would love that. It's an absolutely amazing dream to have, isn't it? To have a sanctuary. I'm not sure I'd quite have the skills needed to do it at all, but yeah, that would be amazing. And there's lots of there is, what I would say is for people who do kind of want to move into this kind of thing full time. The kind of activism stuff is the first thing that comes to your mind, but the movement needs skills from all across, the sector. There's a wonderful organisation called Animal Advocacy Careers, which kind of offer support and kind of sometimes can do kind of one-to-one career mentoring and things like that. And they talk regularly about the kind of big skills gaps in the movement. Mm-hmm. I think I can't even remember recently, but kind of leadership, campaigning and kind of fundraising, I think are the ones that have stuck in my head, but they're always analysing and seeing what the gaps are. So, if people have got skills and they can kind of shift those skills and that experience into the movement, then, that's going to be an amazing help.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? No more questions?
No, I don't think so. Off camera.
Viewers want to know what your full-time job is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to be really, really nosy and ask.
nosy.
I didn't know whether to ask you off
I was going
camera.
to say, I was going to ask you off camera because I just feel that's a bit.
You're saying I've got a full-time job. You keep saying it. You're keeping everyone in suspense.
Yeah, come on, Jo. Put us out of our misery.
We take it off camera, so don't worry.
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I work for the NHS. Yeah, I've worked for the NHS for.
Karen, this is where she gets it from. She's in the caring
Oh,
profession.
well, yeah, absolutely. So I've worked for the NHS for a long time, probably nearly 15 years, possibly longer actually. But yeah, I started my career as a paramedic, but I don't do that anymore.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, it was. I mean, it's quite a long time ago now, but yeah, I started there, and then I kind of moved into sort of project management related things. So yeah, now I work in kind of project management for the NHS. So yeah, it keeps me busy during the week.
Yeah, that's why you're so organised with everything.
Yeah, I guess project management has taught me skills in being organised and the importance of being organised and stuff. So yeah, that's genuinely kind of helped me with this kind of stuff. So that's what I mean about trying to use the kind of skills and experience that people gather up, through their working life or otherwise. And yeah, being able to put that to use for the thing that I'm most passionate about is what I'm hoping to do.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, thank you for
having me.
It's been so lovely.
Yeah.
I love your
Oh,
podcast.
thank you.
It's amazing. So
I
thank
think
you
you're
so
a
much.
great ambassador
Thank you.
for veganism. Brilliant.
Thank you.
I couldn't think of anybody better to do it, could you?
Yeah, and so welcoming as well,
Yeah,
to
because
everybody.
I must admit, when we first come along to Viva, we saw you at Viva.
Yeah.
You're a bit nervous, aren't you? Because you want to do something, and although we do the podcast, I mean, it's behind a camera and it's on YouTube.
Mhm.
But to actually go and face the public, you've actually given us the confidence to do it.
Oh, good. I'm
You
so
have.
pleased. And how did you find it for your first few experiences?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's nice work, being with like-minded people, and you do feel like a nice warmth with everybody.
That's
so.
the thing. You feel it's like teamwork as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think if it wasn't for yourself keeping the team together,
Oh,
I'm not just saying that. It is, you keep the team together.
And I
And
know a
you're-
lot of people get excited about it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we do look forward to it, don't we? Which is so
Yeah.
nice. You know, activism should be. And it's a very serious topic, but it should also be. Sorry, it's a very serious topic, but it should also be,
Enjoyable.
fun. Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we can't expect people to keep turning up to do things if we don't make it welcoming and enjoyable. And we always try to have a few socials and stuff, don't we, so that we can kind of grow that sense of community. So yeah, it's been so lovely to have you along at the events, and I'm so pleased that you come. And I know it's nerve-wracking at the beginning. I felt exactly the same, but we do it for the animals, so you push through it. I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think that's
I think
it.
we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
now.
Well,
you.
thanks ever so much
Yeah,
for
thank
today.
you. It's been
And
lovely.
yeah, thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for yours. It's been really
Yeah.
nice talking to
Give you
you.
a hug.
Aw.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
get a picture of you as well for the Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Right. That was a brilliant interview with
Yeah, I
Jo.
really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I can't believe the way she is so busy. She has a job in the NHS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you say she used to be before?
I think she said she used to be a paramedic, I think, before. So
Yeah.
she's obviously got that kind and care and compassion, hasn't she?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what it takes to do what she does. I think with all of us.
Yeah, because she does all that as well as all of her activism as well as doing a full-time job. So,
Yeah. I know when we approached her to help out with the activism, she was so kind and made you feel so welcome. I think she's the perfect person for the job, don't
yeah,
you?
oh, definitely. She's so, and that's across the board. She's like that to everybody, isn't she?
Yeah.
Such a lovely and beautiful human being.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, and so organised.
Yeah.
Wish I was that organised. Yeah. Right, well, I suppose after that's we better wrap that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you can do anything if you can do anything today, if you go out today and oh, hang on, look, I'm showing my arm. Hang on, pull that back up. Showing flesh.
I was going to say, you're appealing to a new wider audience, Mum.
Appealing to the granddads there.
This is only vegan for OnlyFans.
Yeah. Appealing to the granddads. Show a bit more. Anyway. Right, calm down. This is a family-friendly show.
You're filming that in 20 minutes' time.
Yeah. Wrong bit. Anyway, hang on, the other side's going down.
Has anybody got any cable ties?
Yeah. Right. Now. Calm down, love. Calm down. Right. Calm down. Going out today. We are just about to go out to a barbecue. Maybe I need to eat a bit more to fill this out. I'd like to say that, but that's not true. It's just where I'm sat down with a bit of a jumpsuit on, and it's, you know what these damn things are like. You try and wee in the damn things, so you have to take them all off to have a
Can you
wee.
just leave it half unstrapped?
Yeah.
Just ready to go.
Anyway, every woman, I think, regrets wearing a jumpsuit after a few minutes.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, we digress. When you go out today, you got the giggles now. When you go out today, what is it you have to do?
Be kind.
Be kind. Yes, be kind. Take care. She won't stop laughing now. Thanks for watching. I'll see